Hi folks, how are you all doing today? I'm back with a brand new video again where you will be learning about variable blocks. Okay, so variables are one of the very important parts of any program, right? Without variables, we can't really store anything in our memory, correct? So that's why these are very important, and let's learn about these variable blocks. Okay, so before learning about these, I would definitely like to tell you the same thing which I repeat every day, right? So, if you have not been watching my previous videos, please do go back to my channel Folks Hub, open the playlist Applab, and do watch each and every video in a sequence so that you will get better understanding of the content and the series perspective, right? So this is all. Let's start with the today's video. Okay, so variables, we have already created I'm in an app using variables before, I'm sorry. So please do go back to that video and check that out for what is a variable and to understand what is a variable. Okay, so variables are like the storage containers which are used to store some value in them. Okay, so variables can store value in them, and these are like the storage containers. So let's understand about the variable declaration and initialization process. So we understood about the declaration of variable and initialization of variable in our previous video also. So if you want to understand this better, please do go back there and do watch that video. Okay. So and then yes, where x equals to something, right? So where is a keyword which is used to create a variable. Okay, so we already understood that CodeStudio or code.org is something which is based out of JavaScript, right? So in JavaScript there are few keywords. So one among them is where. Where is a keyword which is used to create a variable. Okay, and then you have to write name of the variable, and for create I mean for writing name of the variables you have few rules again, right? So always variable names can have alphabets in them, right? So x, capital X, anything is fine, no problem, right? So from small a to small z, and then capital A to capital Z, and we can have numbers from 0 to 9, right? Any number. So all these are allowed in variable names. Okay, and special characters are definitely not entertained in the variable names, right? So they are not allowed, you should not use them. And you should never start a variable name with a number. Okay, you can start a variable name with underscore, and that is allowed, right? And you can use underscore in between the variable name, like let's suppose you want to write first name, so you will say f underscore name. So this is fine because this is a valid variable name which can be used. Okay, so f name is fine, right? And f name with small f in place is not same or similar to capital F and underscore name. Okay, so these two are completely different because JavaScript is a case sensitive language where small f and capital letter F are considered to be different. Okay, so that's why I told A to Z and A to Z. These two are completely different in JavaScript, right? So you can use both of these, right? Along with numbers, underscore, right? All these are completely allowed in the variable names. And let me tell you, like if you are using variable name, if you want to write or create a variable name, so you should be following camel casing. That's one of the very good programming practice which you can do. And it is not a rule, definitely not a rule. But yes, if you're following this, that means it's a good programming practice, right? So that's one which a good programmer actually does always. Okay, so let's suppose I want to like create a variable saying first name only. Okay, so then how do I do that, right? So I will write first first, right? So this is going to be the first word of the variable name. Okay, and then I will write first name like this. Okay, that means this is called as camel casing, right? Understand this. In camel casing we will be starting to write the first word with a small letter in place. Okay, and then from the second word onwards, the name or the variable name will start having capital letters initially. Okay, so I mean to say that whenever you're creating a variable name or whenever you're writing or creating a function name, you should start using camel casing. Okay, so what do I mean by camel casing here? So the first word of every or any name, right, or any identifier, we can say, we call them as identifiers basically. So the first word of any identifier will start with small letters only. Okay, and from the second word onwards, the starting letter of each word will start with a capital letter. Okay, so this is all about the camel casing, and this is completely a very good programming practice, and it is not at all a rule, right? So if you follow this or if you're not following this, no issues. Okay, anything is fine, no problem. So why do I say that we have to start it with a small letter itself is because while you're writing classes, right? So you will write the class name with a capital letter, right? You will start writing class name with a capital letter. Again, this is a good programming practice with which a good programmer follow, right? Do follow. So that's how we can differentiate between a variable name, class name, and function name, right? So a variable name, camel casing, function name, we have to use camel casing. And after every function name, we will be using parenthesis, however, right? This we have discussed in our previous video also, right? So that's how we can recognize each of them, right? So that's why we say we have to follow these rules. Okay, so this is not a compulsory or a mandate thing to be followed, but it's a good programming practice. And now, so what is meant by declaration and initialization? We were discussing about this, right? So to declare a variable, you have to use the keyword var and then write the name of the variable. That is enough. That means this one. Can you see this block? So this is how you declare a variable called x. This is just declaration, right? So sometimes there will be some requirements or the need where you should be initializing the variable with a value also. Okay, so in such cases, what do? You will be using this first block which I'm using here, right? So this is, you're declaring a variable, along with that you're initializing it with some value, right? So here this just means that this is like the starting value, right? So whenever you want to change the value of x, you can absolutely do that, not at all an issue. Okay, because a variable is something which keeps on changing, right, which varies time to time according to the need. Okay, so this is variable declaration and initialization in the same statement. Okay. This is only variable declaration in the statement. Okay. And then, so while you're declaring the variable, you should have the keyword var, right? Right after the declaration, if you want to use this variable again, right, somewhere in your program, then you should never use var again. Okay, only for the first time, only for the declaration part, you have to use variable keyword var, right? So after that, when you're using the variable again, you should only use the name of it and you should never use the keyword. Okay, so that is to assign a value to your variable. Let's suppose you want to change the value of x from 0 to 10, right? So you can absolutely do that by this one. Okay, this is assigning a value to your variable, right? So that's why I'm not using the keyword here. You should not use, definitely. Okay, so this is variable declaration cum initialization. This is variable declaration. This is assigning a value to your variable. Now, next thing. So let's suppose if you want to take some input from your user, right? And you want a prompt for it or alert kind of a box or a box which you want to be generating, right? So then you can use this block prompt. Prompt is a predefined function, okay, where you can write anything here, right? So you can give any string whatever you want your user to be entering, you can write that, right? And you can just change the name of the variable if you want. So let's suppose I want to take age from my user, right? Then what I will do, var age equal to, so I will be prompting enter your age, right? So let's suppose I'll just remove this and write enter your age. Or let's take name, that will be more appropriate. So I will write name. Okay, where name equals to prompt, enter your name. Let's check what happens, right? So you will get a dialog box saying enter your name now, right? Let's see. So can you see this? Enter your name, right? And here, let's suppose I will write my name Meena, and then click on OK. So it just takes that as the input. And now my name Veena is stored in this variable called as name. Okay. So if you want to use this name anywhere else in your program, absolutely you can use it, right? So this is how you can use this prompt function, right? So this prompt here is to take a string input. So if you want to specifically take a number input, you have another function called as prompt num. So to take a number only, right? Let's suppose now here I will write the age. So that's why I've changed it before. So let's write enter your age. Okay, let's check this. Run. So you can see enter your name because we first have enter your name statement. So I'm writing Veena. Okay. Now you can see enter your age. So if I say E and then OK, for now, yes, you can see that it is asking me again because it is a number we have to enter. So it did not take that whatever I'm writing, right? E thing, correct? So if I write 10 and say okay, it should accept it. So before this, it was not accepting, right? So when I entered number, it accepted that. Okay. So that's how these prompt and prompt num functions work. Console.log, I think in the previous session we have discussed about this console.log statement. To log a message or to log a value or to log something on your console screen, right? So this is where your console is, right? So then you can actually use this console.log, right? And then you have var str equals to this thing is like if you want to create a string variable, right? You're creating a string variable and you're initializing it with a string value also. Okay, so this one here and this one here both are same, absolutely same, but this is a numeric variable which has the variable name as x and the value as 0, right? So numeric variable. And this is a string variable which has the variable name as str and the value as hello world. Okay, so string variable and numeric type variable. Okay, then now let's discuss few string functions also, right? So these are mostly used functions which we have in CodeStudio, right? So substring, str dot substring start comma end. So this is a parameterized function. I think in the last session we have discussed about parameterized functions, right? So parameterized function means you have to pass parameters into it, correct? That means you will be passing arguments into it, I mean to say. So this is a two argument thing, like we have start and end arguments, right? So whenever you want to get some substring from the string, right? So here let's suppose hello world is the string, right? So from this hello world, you only want hello to be retrieved, right? Then what you will do, you will write the starting index, you will write the ending index, and you'll put it over here in these values. So and you call the function substring. That's it. That gives the output. Okay. So I mean to say that. So if I write always the string indexing will start from 0. So h is at 0 position, right? So 0, 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 is the last position. So 0 to 4, that's it. You just write 0 and 4 here. And you call this function substring. You will get the output hello. Okay. So this is how you can get the substring. Substring, I mean to say, so from a big string, if you want a part of the string, that is substring. Okay. Then index of. So if you are searching for some value, let's suppose if you're searching for E, occurrence of E, right? So here in complete hello world string, we only have E in the first position, right? After 0, first one, right? So then to get the index of E, you can actually use index of function. Okay, this will return the position of the first occurrence of the value or variable which your not variable basically, I mean to say alphabet, right, in the string. Okay, and str dot includes. So this will return true if the search value is found within the string, right? So what is my search value? It was E. So yes, definitely E is present in hello world. Then this will give the output as true. Okay. So includes function will give the output as true. Now str.length, this will find the length of the string. Length of the string is nothing but number of characters present in the string, and characters, I mean to say space also will include, right? So space is also a character, right? It is considered to be a character in programming. And str dot to uppercase. To uppercase is nothing but whatever the string you have in whichever case you have, right? So everything, each and every letter will get converted into uppercase. So if you're using to uppercase, and if you're using to lowercase, then it will convert the complete string into lowercase. That's it. Okay. And then, so this is again one of the very important concepts, which is list, right? So list is nothing but a variable can only store one single value in it, right? Sometimes there will be a need where you want to store more than one value in a variable, right? Then what needs to be done? You have to declare it like a list. It is very simple, right? To store multiple values, you can use a list variable, right? So list is actually sometimes called as a data structure in some languages, or sometimes we say data type in some languages, right? So you can consider list as a data structure here in JavaScript. Okay, so var list equals to 1 to 3, that means this is a numeric type list which I am creating, right? Numerical list, okay, with values 1, 2, 3. So if you want to write some other value saying string value, you can absolutely do that, not at all an issue. Okay, because list can take any type values. It will store multiple values. First of all, it can store all types of data. Okay, be it a numeric type, be it a floating point type, or a string type, or boolean type, right? So it can take anything. Okay, so a list is nothing but which is a special type of variable. You can consider this to be like this also, right? So a list is a special type of variable which can store multiple values at a single time, right? In a single time. Now, so this was a numeric type list. You have a string list also. So this is basically like a array. List is basically similar to array. Okay, but yeah, we have names like list and array again, right? So that's because like in some languages we do not have lists. We call them as arrays. Okay, and in some languages like these days we have Python and JavaScript, right? So in these we call them as lists, like data structures, right? So that's it. Okay, here this list is a numeric list and this is a string list, right? So that this is called as an array also. You can call this as array also, right? So this is the array name, and you have initialized that array with a b c sorry a b d values, right? You can write any string. This is a character array. You can write string array also, no problem. String array, I mean to say, if you want to add multiple characters over here, yes, you can definitely add that, right? And then if you want to access first element or any element, or if you want to retrieve any element from your list or array, then you should be using the index value. Okay, the index value nothing but it starts from 0, like it has started for hello world, like 0, 1, 2, 3, right? Similarly here 1, 2, 3 means this is 0th position, this is first position, and this is second position. Here also for GGH it is 0th position, for B it is first position, for D it is second position. Okay, so if I want to get D as the output, then I have to write list of 2. Okay, so this is something like this one. Okay, access the list item using this kind of a block, right? So using square brackets, within square brackets you have to write the index value, then you can access that particular position value, right? So list dot length, same, similar to the string dot length thing. Number of values, right? So number of elements present in your list. Okay, so here three elements are present in the list. That means the length of the list is 3. So if I have one more thing, let's suppose I will add 4 also here, right? So then the length of the list will be 4. Okay. And so if you want to, change the separator of the list, right? So what do I mean by separator is, here the list has a comma separated values, right? So let's suppose you want space separated values. Absolutely, you can do that by using this join function. So you just have to use dot join, and then you will just give a space there, right? So instead of comma, the separator will become a space now. Okay, 1 space, 2 space, 3 space, 4, right? So this you can't do it on an array, right? So this you can only do it on a list. So that's the difference. I'm sorry, yeah, you can do it on an array also, sorry. Okay, so it is applicable for both basically. Now, then insert item. Insert the item into the array at the specified position. Okay, so here we have three parameters, right? Like three arguments you have to pass. First one is the name of the list. Second one is at which or at what index you want to add the item, and what is the item you want to add. So let's suppose I want to add 5 after 3. Okay, then what will I write? So the list name is list only, so I will write a list. The index is after 3 means, so 0, 1, 2. So at third position I want to add. So the index value is 3 and the item is 5. So this is how you have to write to insert the item. Append item is nothing but it will add the item at the end of the list. Appending, right? Appending means joining. Okay, so it will append the value at the end of the list or at the end of the array. So this is also a two parameter thing. First you have to write the list name, and then you have to write what is the item you want to append, right? Remove item, it will remove the item from the specified index position, right? So if I write 2, that means it will remove the third value from the list. Okay, and then this is another important thing, which is object. We say var object equal to key value pair. So basically, this is done within lists are done within square brackets, right? So objects, or we call this as dictionary basically. So dictionaries are created inside or within curly braces. Okay, so you can see key value pair is written within the curly braces, right? So if I want to add one more key value pair, I can just say after the value you put a comma and write another key value pair. That is completely fine and acceptable. Okay, so when you want to get the value, then you just have to need to access the key. That's it, right? So let's see how to do that. This one, get value. So if you want to get the value, you just have to first write the key value pair and just write key, right, to get the value of that particular key. Okay, and then add pair. So if you want to add a new key value pair, right, to your object, then what you will do, you will write the object name, you will write what is the key, and you will write the value. So this will be added to your dictionary. That means the object here. Okay. So this is all about variable blocks. You have so many of them here, right? But yes, we understood about variables, we understood about strings and string functions, right? Lists, array, and few list functions, how to insert the item, append the item, and remove the item. We learned about dictionary also, right? So these are very few important concepts, again, we can say, right, which are very much helpful while creating the applications, right? Or while writing your JavaScript programs. Okay. So this is not only useful in Code Studio, this was very generic, right? You can absolutely use it anywhere while you're writing your JavaScript, right? So JavaScript programs, we say. Okay. So yes, this, I hope this was helpful, and I hope you enjoyed this video, right? So if you're having any questions regarding any video, you can just please comment, right? I will let you know what exactly it is and how exactly you can go about it, right? So if any other questions also, you can just reach out to me. I'm very happy to help you all out there for any of your queries you have, right? And yes, so this was all about our today's session, and we will be meeting in the next session, right? Where we will be discussing about data blocks. Okay. So I will meet you in the next session. Until then, you know what you have to do? You have to watch all my videos and series, right? In the Applab series of Folks Hub channel. Okay. Please do watch my channel and please do support this. And thank you so much for supporting so far, right? Please do continue and improve, right? Thank you so much and bye bye. Have a great day, all.